a warm welcome. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We're glad you could join us. I'm Rhoda Obo. More than 4 months after the presentation of the 2015 budget estimates by the Coordinating Minister of the Economy and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the 2015 appropriation bill is finally passed by the House of Representatives at Thursday's House sitting. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Okafor is putting that report together and will bring it to you in our subsequent news belt or during the news bulletin. And also, the Senate has adopted the Conference Committee on Report, the Administration of Criminal Justice Bill by 2015. The bill seeks to overhaul and unify the National Criminal Procedure Law during them in tune with modern-day realities. The lawmakers also passed for third reading.
Yes, codes handling two codes, criminal code in the south, penal code in the north. What we did now is to harmonize the two. In the long run, we have one code, one application. It is our hope states will adopt this bill that has been now passed by us. So whereby we will have a uniform system of criminal code across the nation. You know, so that the nation can move as one. It certainly eases prosecution in all the cases.
The lawmakers also passed for third reading a bill seeking the establishment of the Nigerian Electricity Management Service Authority. This followed the consideration of report on the Joint Committee on Power as well as Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters.
The electricity industry in Nigeria is at its lowest ebb, not only in terms of supply, but the way that the electrical technologies and technicians manage affairs. And unfortunately, most people just build houses, they don't consult electrical engineers. They just get draftsmen or whoever to do the drawing for them, and by the time they wire the house, everything is in a complete mess.
You know, with privatization, the electricity industry has become liberalized and is open, and there will be so many kinds of importation of various goods and services into the electricity industry. So this will give the electricity industry a boost, whereby it will check and certify that various equipments that might be imported into the country are tested, certified and up to standard for the Nigerian electricity supply industry for use.
In the meantime, the 2015 Presidential Inauguration Planning Committee has reeled out a week-long activities for a smooth transition program come May 29th. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief Pius Ayim, said this at a news briefing at the end of the committee's inaugural meeting in Abuja. Kemi Fakaye has details.
The week-long activities will feature press briefing, Jumat, church service, inauguration dinner, the swearing-in ceremony, luncheon, and gala night. Chief Pius Ayim, who is also the chairman of the committee, said the program came up after due consultation between the transition and inauguration committees.
As you are well aware, the transition is from the President Goodluck administration to the incoming President-elect General Muhammad Buhari's administration. It may be necessary to note that the two leaders have consulted with each other and agreed on the need for a smooth and seamless transition. It is in furtherance of that understanding that both the President and the President-elect agreed on two committees, namely the Transition Committee and the Inauguration Committee.
The Inauguration Committee, made up of 28 members, has 14 representatives each from the present administration and incoming government.
The mandate of the committee are as follows: to draw up the programs of activities for the inauguration ceremony, arrange invitations and accommodations of local and foreign dignitaries, organize the approved programs of activities, draw up budget for the programs of activities, and co-opt into subcommittees persons that may be necessary to assist the committee discharge its responsibility.
Chief Pius Ayim said the Permanent Secretary, Political Affairs Office in the Presidency, is heading the secretariat of the committee. The committee is expected to meet at subcommittees levels to focus on each activity and brief members of the public. In Abuja, Kemi Fakeye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the chairman, Publicity Subcommittee of the 2015 Presidential Inauguration Planning Committee, Adam Duke, says the ongoing transition process is an indication that the handover of power come May 29th would be seamless. Adam Duke made this remark in an exclusive interview with State House correspondent Segun Lawale in Abuja.
It is the first time at the federal level that the country will witness a transition of power from one civilian administration to the opposition government since 1999. It is, however, not surprising that in the build-up to the May 29th inauguration date, both the transition and the inauguration planning committees from the present government and the incoming administration had to meet to harmonize thoughts and fine-tune their plans and arrangements for a smooth transition. Minister of Tourism, Culture and National Orientation, Adam Duke, in an interview, puts in perspective the coming together and the synergy between the present government and the incoming administration on the inauguration ceremony.
The critical element in the synergy that you have seen is that the period of combative politicking is virtually over. The healing process begins now with the transition committees and the inaugural committees. And so the eloquent statement here is that Nigerians across the land must also commence the healing process, must be prepared now to celebrate a new administration.
The composition of the transition and the presidential inauguration planning committees, which will later be dissolved into various subcommittees, also brings to bear the importance attached to the 2015 presidential inauguration.
Tribe and tongue may differ, though political inclinations may differ, though we may have different kinds of narratives in terms of our desire for the leadership of this country. But one and eloquent thing is that we are all Nigerians, we all know ourselves, we breathe the same air, we have the same aspirations for this country, and we have seen in the composition not only of the transition committee but also the inauguration committee, committed and dedicated stakeholders, principled men, professionals from all walks of life who have a stake in a successful project called Nigeria. And I see the energy, the enthusiasm that all parties have brought to this inauguration committee meeting, and I am extremely delighted that ultimately Nigerians will see a very, very elegant and seamless transition.
From the banquet hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja, Segun Lawale, NTA News.
We turn our attention now to politics. Strategies on how to take back power from the All Progressives Congress, APC, in 2019, especially at the center, dominated a meeting of the People's Democratic Party, PDP Renaissance Movement in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports on the outcome of the meeting.
For over 5 hours, the group engaged members on how to rebuild and reposition the party. At the end of the meeting, Chairman Steering Committee Ayakame Whiskey briefed journalists on their resolve.
That all members of the party who have one grievance or another and who for the said reason have defected or plan to defect from the party to consciously have a rethink and return back to join in the rebuilding of our great party. There is urgent need for immediate injection of fresh minds, fresh ideas, fresh vision, and fresh strategies at all levels of the party.
They equally called on President Goodluck Jonathan to put the umbrella house in order before May 29, 2015.
To make a deliberate and conscious effort to rebrand our party with clearly defined ideology and which as part of its mantra shall return power back to the people. Set the necessary machinery in motion to create a new leadership within the party. The set of leaders soon to emerge should be populated by those who understand the principles and norms of opposition politics.
Whiskey, who described the present state of the party as a temporary setback, expressed optimism that the party will bounce back in a very short time. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Abia State Governor Chief Theodore Orji has been issued with his certificate of return as the senator-elect for Abia Central Senatorial Zone by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Presenting the certificate of return of the INEC office, Umuahia, INEC Chairman Professor Tahiru Jega, represented by the National Commissioner, INEC Ambassador Lawrence Umuruku, congratulated the winners on their electoral victory. Governor Theodore Orji expressed happiness for receiving the certificates and stated that the development has put an end to the rumors that his election was cancelled. He said the issuance of the certificates to him shows that he was duly elected by the people of Abia Central to represent them and assured them to expect the best from him at the Senate.
When you get to Abuja,
the best. Expect the best from me.
Two other senators representing Abia North and South respectively, alongside 8 House of Representative members, also received their certificates of return. Newly elected National Assembly members in Bayelsa State have been urged to work in unison for the development of the state to justify the confidence of voters. The INEC National Commissioner in charge of Bayelsa, Rivers and Delta State, Dr. Ishmael Igbani, stated this during the presentation of certificates of return to the parliamentarians. Correspondent Julia Sunny has the details. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS, has commended Nigerians for a peaceful general elections, describing the nation as one of the African countries promoting good governance. Obiageli Ogweke reports that the commendation was made at a press conference in Abuja.
In view of the peaceful conduct of the just concluded elections, the president of the association, Comrade Tijani Usman, says the peace witnessed during the exercise points out the fact that Nigerians are becoming more conscious of the fact that there cannot be development in an atmosphere of crisis. He congratulated the president-elect, Muhammad Buhari, and appealed to him to ensure parochial issues like zoning did not overshadow national interest.
We believe the APC government, as promised by the President General Muhammad Buhari, for a better change, for a better and qualitative education, for a better welfare of Nigerian students, we believe he's going to achieve it.
He says with all Progressive Congress promising change, all hopes are high that the goals and aspirations of Nigerians will be fully actualized. In Abuja, Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
This is Nationwide, and for more reports on Nationwide, we'll join Jennifer Igwe in our Lagos Network Center.
Thank you, Rhoda. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. As the world marks World English Day today globally, stakeholders have advocated training and retraining of teachers to cope with the challenges and the emerging trends in the teaching and learning of English language. Jane Ojuku has the report.
English is often referred to as a world language or the lingua franca. It is one of the 6 languages officially used by the United Nations. In commemoration of the importance and benefits of the language, the United Nations set aside April 23rd to be observed as the International English Language Day. It is aimed at promoting the language and multilingualism as well as cultural diversity.
The awareness is not there that a day has been set aside for a single language day.
I'm not quite aware of the fact that today is a World English Language Day.
Stakeholders emphasized the need for training and retraining of teachers to keep abreast of developments on the subject.
I would advise that such teachers get knowledge of this discipline very, very well.
I use it as a time to create awareness, and then to do something to kind of upgrade myself.
What do schools put in place to enhance learning of the language?
You need a language laboratory in the college.
We have such clubs like the press club, the literary and debating societies.
The advent of social media and the culture of abbreviation and coding among young people unfortunately impacts on the usage of English. As a global language, observers say English expands educational and career opportunities of young people. Hence, the need for stakeholders and particularly Nigerian students to pay more attention to the subject. In Lagos, Jane Ujuku, NTA News.
Lagosians are asking the state government to step up efforts at controlling flood as the rainy season approaches. John Battiman went round some flood-prone areas to see measures put in place to reduce the effects of heavy rains on the citizens.
Huge financial resources have been committed to the construction of canals for evacuation of water in different parts of the metropolis. In addition to this, many more side drainages are put in place where none existed before for easy flow of rainwater. This is to forestall the occurrence of flood in Lagos.
The most important thing for us is that we are on alert. We have published the telephone numbers of all the drainage engineers as well as technicians in different areas where people can approach.
In as much as the state government is doing its best in this direction, some residents of the city are crying for more action.
Appealing to the government, maybe from the local government to the state, even if federal government can come to our rescue, that they can help us to channel the water so that it will not be disturbing us at large.
The solution, they have to continue to make sure that once it rains, the whole system goes into the lagoon. Once the lagoon is full up, the whole thing is overflow to this estate. And so when during the fall, there's no way to do any business because everybody just manage to work out to some people they'll just go find a way to enter just from another place.
For now, all agencies are involved in finding solutions to the flood issue in Lagos with a climate summit currently ongoing. In Lagos, John Battiman, NTA News.
The essence of pedestrian bridges across several expressways in Lagos State cannot be overemphasized. But a situation where these essential facilities are abandoned during construction calls for concern. Tunde Saike in this report takes a look at some of these bridges almost nearing completion but abandoned.
Some of these bridges can be found along the ever-busy Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Others could be seen along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway just after the O2 gate at the Shangisha area. NTA News gathered that the contract for these bridges were awarded by the federal government for over 2 years, though the contractors mobilized to site to start the construction. But halfway into it, the projects were abandoned.
He has been cleaning the life of so many people. For the past 2 years, I've been working here. So many people have been coming, crossing. There's always the old woman has been living there the last 2 years.
Some other respondents, however, appealed to the federal government to direct these contractors to go back to site for the benefits of the masses whose purpose the pedestrian bridges were meant to serve.
We pray for the government to do the bridge in time because by not doing it, you can see the company and the market, people that are using this place, we are many. You understand? And by leaving it, not doing it, it poses a danger to the life of people.
In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
Tunde's report ends our contribution from Lagos. Rhoda, over to you for more on Nationwide News.
Thank you, Jennifer. Information Minister Senator Patricia Kwashike says literary works that seek to document the culture and tradition of a people is the only means with which such culture and tradition can be protected from extinction. Correspondent Anthony Forsin reports that the minister was speaking at a book launch titled A Dictionary of Egon Names.
Patricia Kwashike, while commending the author for a job well done, said the book, A Dictionary of Egon Names, will go a long way in putting the Egon people on the spotlight.
We want our people to really go back home and teach their children. Languages are dying. Our kids cannot even speak the language, and they tell you with pride that I cannot speak the language. It's not good for us.
Speakers at the occasion were unanimous in calling for more of such documentations.
We should, as much as possible, try our best to try and maintain what is unique to each one of us. And it is through our names, in our native languages, and through our spoken languages. Otherwise, those who are predicting that languages will get extinct will achieve their purpose.
For instance, my name is Ikweje. Now in Igon, we have the syllable J. But the white man brought J, and then it is called Kuje. It is not Kuje, it is Ikweje.
Somewhere down the road, it will add value to the community he comes from.
The Dictionary of Ego Names is an unusual collection of valuable data which the author has used in pioneering language historiography. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And supporting and holding leaders accountable constructively is the focus of a forum organized by Speakers Kano Thrust Nigeria to analyze the 2015 election. Adebola Brooksling Sunday has details.
The drama, intrigues, tension and uncertainty that envelop the atmosphere is gradually dispersing as the nation commences another 4 years journey to 2019 general elections. The level of successes recorded by the opposition party show the desire of Nigerians for change. This was the resolution of speakers at the forum, as they also stressed the need to hold leaders accountable.
What the elections goes to show, with all the dooms, the predictions of doom and all that, it goes to show is that together Nigerians can achieve a lot.
Beyond elections, what about governance? So civil society organizations and individuals need to monitor what is happening in the polity.
Platform. It's an online platform that will monitor the campaign promises and the implementation of it. And we have developed indicators to work on this Buhari meter.
Democracy is not just about elections. We now need to step up to monitor the promises and to ensure that our yearnings and aspirations are taken cognizance of.
The forum also advised the president-elect to be wary of those political characters that have suddenly formed alliance with his party without ideological leaning. In Abuja, Adebola Brooksling Sunday, NTA News.
Now, ahead of May 29 take-up date of the incoming administration, the Labour movement has called for a peaceful environment to enable workers contribute their quota to the nation. The union leader, while setting agenda for the president-elect, urged him to ensure that all campaign promises are fulfilled, as expectations of Nigerians are high. Correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro has details.
The leadership of the unions in their separate remarks said Nigerian workers are ready for policies that will strengthen the nation's institutions to carry out their mandates effectively, tackle corruption and insecurity, which lower productivity, increase poverty, and in turn underdevelop the nation's economy.
For us to look at the issue of having the capacity to refine our petroleum product internally, because this has been a recurring challenge, and over the years we have not been able to address it once and for all.
It was observed that most industrial actions embarked upon by workers are avoidable if only government would honor agreements reached with workers. A situation where strike is allowed to prolong unnecessarily should be avoided by the incoming government.
We can't afford a situation where unions will be taken with levity. Legitimate demands of unions will be treated with levity, and strikes will start again, continue again with this new administration. That, of course, will not be the spirit of the change that we are talking about.
For effective grassroots development, the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, has called for the adoption of financial autonomy for local government.
A local government that will be free from excruciating control they have been suffering over these years from the state governments. A local government that will be truly owned by the communities that constitute a given local government.
The Nigerian Union of Pensioners is not left out as it called on the incoming government to address all issues affecting retirees without delay.
The incoming president will put smiles on the faces of all pensioners if that can be done.
While the National Union of Road Transport Workers also sets its own agenda, the African Union equally wants to partner with the incoming government.
We want the incoming administration to improve on security. You'll be moving either at the daytime or in the night. You can be able to move.
We also have a lot of programs that is targeting the youth empowerment, job creations.
Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Well, sorry for the poor audio in that report. Chinese ambassador to Nigeria has expressed the commitment of China to support agricultural and infrastructural development in Nigeria. The ambassador, while on a congratulatory visit to President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, spoke to journalists after a closed-door meeting. Correspondent Ismail Musa reports that 4 other ambassadors paid similar visits.
The mission of the ambassadors from China, Israel, Equatorial Guinea, Iran and Morocco is to express the goodwill messages of their presidents to Nigeria's president-elect Muhammadu Buhari and commend Nigerians for the sense of unity and maturity exhibited during the recent elections.
We all Africans are very proud of the way the election was conducted in Nigeria. I think there's something that we all should learn. We know that Nigeria is a very complex and big country, but after all, after everything that happened, we have seen that Nigeria has shown the maturity that the way they handled the election. We have to appreciate everyone, all Nigerian political actors that took place, the outgoing President Jonathan, President Buhari, even the President of INEC, Tahiru Jega.
China and Nigeria, we are going to further our cooperation between 2 countries. During the meeting, I talked with the President-elect on some of the areas we are going, or potential areas we can go in. We are going to have the cooperation, like the agriculture, investment, infrastructure building.
We're eager to continue the great relationship between Nigeria and Israel in this new era.
On his part, Nigeria's President-elect Muhammadu Buhari promised to sustain and develop the existing relation with all the countries. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Digital switchover date dominates stakeholders meeting in Jos. Details of these and other stories with Mayam in our Jos Network Center. Hello, Mayam. Good to see you.
Hello, Rhoda. It's good to see you too. You're welcome to Jos. Preparatory to the June 17th digital switchover, the Digitization Contact Group has met in Jos to discuss modalities towards meeting the deadline. Director General National Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Emeka Mba, said the team is working hard to avail the over 80% Nigerian audience currently using analog television with quality terrestrial signals. Correspondent Felicia Daliub has details.
The Director General explained that the 2-day meeting will avail stakeholders the opportunity to brainstorm and provide the wider television audience with world-class television experience as the country inched closer to the takeoff date. He disclosed that 9 authorized companies have been given licenses for the distribution of the set-top boxes in the country. This, Mr. Mba said, will enable people with analog television sets receive signals from digital transmission.
We've always emphasized that television is a national concept. It is a very social concept, but it's also, in our view, something that should be driven by free-to-air programming. We believe that very much that is the case, and we want to build on that case and make sure that the large majority of Nigerians have access to television.
In a PowerPoint presentation, Chairman DG Team Nigeria, Edward Amana, said the introduction of the set-top box will not only enhance digital signals, but will also create job opportunity for many Nigerians as the gadgets will be manufactured in the country. Mr. Amana further explained that a digital terrestrial TV network has been put in place to cover the whole of Plateau State, while the team is awaiting the harmonization of details for the set-top box manufacturing.
A successful
switch over to digital, we will be requiring over 40 million set-top boxes. Specific task forces will be put in place to address other outstanding issues. These task forces should keep Digital abreast of their progress to ensure conformance with the transition policies.
Stakeholders at the meeting were unanimous that the outcome of the deliberation will further fast-track the work of the committee. In Jos, Felicia Dalu, NTA News.
Newly elected members of the House of Representatives have been urged to support the candidature of Yakubu Dogara from Bauchi State for the position of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Chairman Bauchi South Senatorial Zone of the All Progressive Congress, Alhaji Musa Adamular, made the call at a press briefing in Bauchi. Correspondent Abbas Bekano takes it from here.
Alhaji Adamullar described Yakubu Dogara as a symbol of unity, justice, and good representation. He pointed out that Yakubu Dogara, being elected for the House of Representatives for 3 consecutive times, deserved to be the Speaker of Lower Chamber based on his good representation and experience.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria is a secular state as provided by the Constitution, hence the need to carry everybody along. Barrister Dogara Yakubu has our mandate to vie for and be elected the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Contributing, a member-elect in the Bauchi State House of Assembly, Alhaji Aminu Tukur, said since APC is on a rescue mission in Nigeria, people of good character such as Yakubu Dogara should be made to occupy sensitive positions like the Speaker House of Representatives. In Bauchi, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
That report wraps up our contribution from Jos. It's back to you, Rhoda, for more on the news nationwide.
Thank you, Mariam. We now take a break, and when we return, more reports when Nationwide returns.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
You're still watching Nationwide, and now to some more reports. Within the context of Nigeria, nanotechnology has the potential to stimulate a renaissance in the nation's scientific milieu, as it will provide innovative solutions to problems. Kirian Umayo in this special report examines the potential of nanotechnology and advanced manufacturing technique needed to drive the nation's industrial sector.
Nano and advanced manufacturing technologies are practiced here at the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, which also has the largest bandwidth connectivity in communication and production networking in West Africa. Here is the virtual manufacturing laboratory, and we have Olarinwaju.
Basically, what
takes place here is the virtual manufacturing aspect of advanced manufacturing technology. Basically, advanced manufacturing technology is that technique of manufacturing that's obtainable in Western world, the developed countries, and is divided into two categories, the virtual manufacturing and the real manufacturing.
Nanotechnology has emerged as the new frontier for the exploration of science and the development of new technologies. Nigeria is among the nations yet to be identified on the nanotechnology consumer produce map.
Nanotechnology is a new field in the manufacturing sector. It is the science, technology, and engineering of materials in their miniature scale in such a way that we study the science, the technology, the engineering of the structure of materials to see how it can be further modified, restructured, characterized in order to enhance some benefit.
Nanotechnology can provide solutions in a number of areas, including nano-engineering seeds, plants and animals for improved agriculture, nanoscale thin films for solar cells and light-emitting devices, and nanomedicine.
We apply nanotechnology in formulating a drug that you take just once, as against the ones that you just keep popping in, and this will give a patient a better compliance.
The nanotechnology approach in the production of this paper may be texture, maybe the grammage should be reduced so that higher volume, the weight will be small. In the production of this pen, my target will be, it is the color. I want to enhance shining and reduce fading.
Technology and advanced manufacturing technology are key to the industrial development of any nation, and any nation that does not apply these technologies in the manufacturing sector is bound to remain underdeveloped. In Abuja, Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Still staying with science and technology, the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, says the military is fully utilizing local competence in space, science and technology to improve the operations of the Nigerian military. He made this remark when he visited the National Space Research and Development Agency to intensify collaborations on the effective use of Nigeria's space assets. Fisayo Ogunfuyi reports.
Nigeria in recent time has made some commitment in the development of a comprehensive space program which will enhance key sectors of its economy and ensure better intelligence gathering in terms of security and defense. Some of the areas activated include robust transfer of technology in satellite development and development of unmanned area vehicles, UAVs, which the Nigerian military has taken on board. The Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, during a visit to the National Space Research and Development Agency, NASDA, said developing local competence in space science and technology can only be advantageous to the nation both in the short and long term.
The people that we train on the UAV, at least those ones will be vindicated. The UAVs we brought in to come and do this war, the insurgency, it's our boys that are flying it. It's our boys that are shooting from the air with the UAVs, and they are doing very, very well.
I want to assure you on behalf of all of us as the space agency and the community of practice in this country that we are prepared to work with our colleagues on the military. And all over the world, developing space program is no mean feat.
The Chief of Defense Staff was accompanied by the Chief of Space Defense Agency, Air Vice Marshal Victor Udo, Commander Defense Headquarters Garrison, Rear Admiral A.A. Da Costa, called for better synergy between the military and the Space Agency on mutually beneficial programs. In Abuja, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Now, the food basket of the nation gives an insight on how the delay in rains may affect farming season. Let's now join Pam in our Makurdi Network Center for details of this and other stories making the rounds from that end. Hello, Pam.
Welcome to Makurdi. Farmers in Benue State have expressed apprehension over the delay in the onset of the rains for the 2015 farming season. This apprehension is coming against the background of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency's seasonal rainfall prediction of shortage in rainfall this year. In this report, correspondent Elias Itiaf examines the possible impact of the prediction on the agricultural sector and efforts to mitigate the effects.
According to NIMET, the 2015 rainy season will experience a shortage in the amount of rainfall across many parts of the country, including Benue State. This development, according to experts, will have multi-sectoral effects in some of the facets of the economy, including agriculture. What then is a way forward in mitigating some of these challenges? Some farmers who decry the non-availability of rainfall in the state say they foresee threats of famine looming in the air.
So many crops that are supposed to be planted at this early stage, they are not able to plant them.
Since the rain is not yet around now, we don't have alternative than to plant all these cassavas.
I'm feeling the pain and I'm thinking how we take survive.
As a food basket of the nation, does this prediction have any implication on its agricultural prospects?
We have to try to explore those seeds that require moderate rainfall or water requirements.
We have good rivers. Why can't we, come up with a policy or a program that would make use of these rivers?
Speaking on the measures to remedy the adverse effect of the prediction, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Donald Buo, and the Program Manager, Benue Agriculture and Rural Development Authority, James Kale, corroborated that the state is evolving a multi-sectoral synergy with relevant partners to tackle the development. According to the NIMET forecast, the rainy season will commence by May and cease by early October 2015. In Makudi, Elias Itiaf, NT News.
Meanwhile, producers of citrus and mangoes in Benue State have continued to grapple with the challenge of adding value to their produce due to absence of processing and preservation facilities. In this report, correspondent Masifan Dankaru examines the situation against the backdrop of renewed efforts by government to tackle the problem.
Benue State is one of the largest producers of citrus and mangoes in the country. However, most of what is produced is wasted due to the non-availability of processing industries that could add value to the product to complement the effort of farmers.
You see, farmers end up selling them at giveaway price because there's no market, ready-made market for them.
At the moment, the markets are flooded with different varieties of mangoes as well as citrus with its attendant wastage. The Commissioner of Agriculture, Mr. Donald Buo, said government is making efforts to ensure that the fruit juice in Katsina Allah and the tomato factory in Wanune come on stream to address the waste farmers experience.
I obtained a site at Boko and gave to the federal authorities. They were to resume work this February.
The West African Agricultural Productivity Program, they have brought a machine that will, they have chosen an entrepreneur in the state that will be processing these mangoes so that at the end of an off-season, it can be made available.
It is the hope of farmers that if the state must retain its appellation as the food basket of the nation, prompt measures must be put in place to ensure that farmers get value for their produce to encourage agricultural production. In Makudi, Masifan Dankaro, NTA News.
And from Taraba State, the acting governor Alhaji Sani Abubakar Danladi has sworn in a new acting Grand Kadi with an appeal on members of the judiciary to be fearless and firm in the dispensation of justice. Correspondent Joseph Zana Kambo reports that the new Grand Kadi, Muhammad Ahmed Bose, is the third since the creation of the state 23 years ago.
Kadi Muhammad Ahmed Bose is now the third Grand Kadi of Taraba State, being the most senior on the bench of the State Sharia Court of Appeal. The outgoing Grand Kadi, Ismaila Muhammad Goma, who is proceeding on retirement, administered the oath on the new acting Grand Kadi on behalf of the State Chief Judge.
I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly, to the best of my ability and faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law.
The acting governor, Alhaji Sani Abubakar Danladi, who congratulated the new acting Grand Kadi, urged him to sustain the cordial relationship existing between the executive and the judiciary.
I am pleased to mention the cardinal relationship between the executive and the judicial arm of government. I want to assure you that this relationship will be further strengthened.
Responding, the new acting Grand Kadi, Muhammad Ahmad Bose, thanked the state government for the opportunity given to him to serve, promising to live above discharge of his responsibility. NTA News.
And that will be it from Makudi. Ruth, it's now back to you for the rest of Nationwide. Good evening.
Thank you. Now let's take a look at some health matters. A 6-year program that assisted Nigeria towards achieving MDG 6 has ended with partners singing songs of success. The program, known as Enhancing Nigeria's Response to HIV/AIDS, is aimed at preventing, treatment, improving care and support information and services for people most vulnerable. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunjo reports that the program was founded by the United Kingdom Department for International Development.
Has the second largest number of people living with HIV. To help in mitigating the impact, Society for Family Health, supported by partners, officially began one of the nation's largest HIV/AIDS grants, built on results from promoting sexual reproductive health and HIV reduction. The program focused on 8 states with high prevalence by providing access to HIV prevention, increased knowledge on HIV through house-to-house campaign, among others. As the program draws to a close, how equipped is the country to sustain the tempo?
Donors will never be here forever. They have built sustainable institutions at state and community level. The question is, how do we take it, over from there? How do we domesticate these resources?
One unique thing that the project did was to have staff embedded with the state agencies for the control of AIDS in the 8 states we worked. And that embedding of staff led to very serious transfer of skills and knowledge.
We have also documented a lot of our experiences, and hopefully the government agencies, the partners we worked in, will take many of these forward.
In its 6 years of existence, the program helped in increasing the number of people that tested, collect results, and receive counseling for HIV/AIDS, prevented 2.5 million unintended pregnancies through the use of condom, and averted 10,000 maternal deaths, as well as increased numbers of prevention of mother-to-child. Mainly, it has reduced the prevalence rate from 3.6 to 3.1%. In Abuja, Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
In the meantime, the management of the Federal Ministry of Information, led by the Minister, Senator Patricia Akwashiki, were at the Abuja residence of late Senator Uche Chukwumerije to condole the family. Correspondent Anthony Forsing reports.
Were received by the elder son. The minister said Senator Chukwumerije, as her colleague in the Senate, was highly respected, an embodiment of hard work, humility, honesty, and patriotic to the nation.
He lived a life of fulfillment, a life without opulence. He does not display wealth. He is a very, very humble person.
She urged the family not to see his death as a moment to mourn his exit. Responding on behalf of the family, Chukwumerije expressed gratitude for the words of encouragement, saying his father truly served his fatherland with dedication and passion for the country. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Funerals held for drowned migrants and policing France false terror attacks. These are more on Global Tidbits with Talatu Ezirike.
Ever recorded capsizing of a migrant boat in the Mediterranean have been held in Malta. The migrants are believed to be mostly from Somalia, Eritrea, and other parts of sub-Saharan Africa. Meanwhile, EU leaders are looking at ways to stem the trend. From France, Prime Minister Manuel Valls said that the country police have foiled 5 terror attacks in recent months. A Nigerian man was arrested on Sunday over the alleged plan after he apparently shot himself by accident and called an ambulance. Similarly, a United Kingdom think tank from the Centre for Social Justice has warned of a highly sophisticated trafficking gangs targeting the UK. The think tank in its report claims that the gangs are several steps ahead of the authorities and therefore wants more border police to tackle the gang. And the Cabuco volcano in southern Chile has erupted twice in the space of a few hours, having laid dormant for decades. That is all on Global Tidbits. Talat Izarike, NTA News.
And now talking sports, maiden week-long diplomatic sports competition set to go underway in Abuja as Real Madrid and Juventus cruise to semi-finals of UEFA Champions League. Details and sports update with Kene Imabudike.
Organizers of the maiden diplomatic sports tournament Thursday embarked on an inspection tour of facilities at the Abuja National Stadium ahead of the event slated for May 11 to 16. The competition, which will have over 60 diplomatic missions and international organizations competing in 16 sporting events, is designed to further promote peace and unity amongst members of the diplomatic corps in Nigeria.
Nigeria is also concerned about their well-being, about their physical, mental, and psychological well-being. And one of those ways to show concern and interest is through sports.
Giwa FC of Jokes were emphatic in their 4-0 home defeat of the visiting Aqua United in Week 5 of the Nigerian Professional Football League midweek as Gabras of Nnewi continued their fine run of form in the top flight with a 2-0 victory over Lobi Stars. Enyimba of Aba and Abia Warriors recorded away victories, but defending champions Kano Pillars fell 1-2 to host Nasarawa United in Lafia. Spanish giants Real Madrid.
That concludes Nationwide for today. Remember, you can join us again for more news update at 7 and at 9 p.m. for the Network News. From everyone here, thank you for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day.